Hello there. You are listening to the Light FM's Girl Talk podcast. My name is Carol.
It's Alicia.
And Tricia.
And we are so glad that you're here today because we're going to talk about our one word for 2019. So a couple days ago.
So excited.
I'm not excited about mine.
I wasn't until you came into my office.
Okay. Maybe I need to come into your office more often because...
Go into her office.
Okay.
That's what you need to
come
do.
To my office.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. But here's what we're talking about. So a couple of years ago, I read a book, and it talked about really focusing on one word for the year. You know, I think we set a lot of goals, but one word kind of just gives us bullet focus on one thing laser focus on one thing that we want to learn or be about in the next year. So I was having my quiet time one morning, and this word like jumped off the page and just smacked me right in the face. And I'll tell you mine later, but y'all are so excited about your words because I'm not nearly as excited about my word yet because it's scaring me. But anyway.
We have to ask Alicia because she looks like she is about to explode.
I know. Well, okay, so Carol came into my office, I think just yesterday, and said, okay, we're going to do a one word for the podcast, your word for next year. And I'm like, okay, great. I have no idea what my word is. That's next year, which is several weeks away. I have not thought about it. I always do a word of the year.
Uh-huh.
But I just completely slipped my mind to even start thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I'm sure I'll come up with something. So later on, I was at the Cove bookstore doing some shopping, and I saw this really cute mug, and I almost took a picture of it, and I'm like, I really like this mug. And on the mug, it has my word.
Really?
Soar.
Oh.
I am going to soar next year.
Nice.
And there's...
That's SOAR, not
SOR.
Yes.
You're going to not exercise too much.
Soar like wings on eagles.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, tell me flesh that out for us a little bit. What does that mean?
So I don't know exactly what it's going to mean.
Okay.
Like you just said, I really felt led to this word. I think I want to soar. I want to be my best. I want what God wants for me next year. I want to kind of branch out. I want to do more than what I'm doing, more for myself, more for my family, more for some of the interests I have. I want to be able to give more and be more to other people. I just literally want to kind of lift up and just be all that I can be. And so it just is a very inspiring word to me. In past, I've done hustle and things that were more action-oriented. And this one, I just feel like I can just be my best. And if I'm my best, people around me hopefully will be lifted also.
I love that.
I love it so much. Think about the image of that. Like you're making me think of the image of a bird opening its wings and then putting a little bit of effort in, but catching the wind and just going up higher and higher and higher. That image is very, very powerful because it does include opening up and being ready and a little bit of effort, but not the whole thing is you. It's you're catching on to what like God is doing, and then you go up, up, and up. I love it. I love that image.
Yeah. It just, and the mug is really pretty. It's this light blue mug. It has soar in this cursive like
font,
print, and it's got this flock of birds. And on the other side, it says, "Those who hope in the Lord will find new strength."
Ooh,
Isaiah 40:31.
Yeah, you better watch out for that verse. That's gonna.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like the combo.
Go to the Cove bookstore and trade in my word.
Find a mug. Find a word mug.
That's right. That's pretty cool. I love yours. Yeah, that's great.
I'm excited about it.
I love
it's different. It's different from what I've done in the past.
You know, Meredith Andrews has a song called Soar.
Oh,
that could be your song. Yes.
There we go. I'll have to look.
Oh, yes. Yeah, listen to that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Tricia.
All right.
You're
so, Carol asked me yesterday also to come up with my word. I'm like,
and
word.
What you're getting from this is Carol is very planned out and very.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time thinking on this one.
Seat of my pants.
Well, you asked me, and really I was at a loss. I hadn't even thought. I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm making for lunch.
Right.
So
Nachos.
let me think.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just be honest. It was nachos. That's true. But thinking about a word for the year is exciting, but it's also a little daunting. It's like, what do I want for the year? What is really my focus? And it came to me. I'm very grateful. It came to me, and I have an actual action that goes along with it. Are you ready? It's kind of like a cheerleading move, so you're not missing anything if you can't see it. It's this.
Cheerleading move.
Fearless.
Oh, great.
Arm up,
That's
legs splayed out.
Jasmine
power stance.
Murray.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
love her song. I love that song.
Yeah. Yeah. Fearless.
So talk about
I
that a
can't
little
sing.
bit with us.
Okay, so
That's awesome.
I have been battling fear years and years and years in different ways, in different circumstances. And I am going to really, truly seek God's help to let go of all of that fear. Here's how it's going to work. Like, an opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it. If I'm scared to do something, I'm still going to try it. I'm not going to say no to things. I've got a trip coming up that's going to involve a very long airplane flight. That scares me, to think about right now. I could have like a real anxiety moment thinking about that. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to let fear stop me. And this is on a personal level. This is on a professional level. I'm ready to try new things on air. I'm ready to let go of, whatever preconceptions I have or the sort of things that I build up to give me some kind of stability. I'm ready to just try new things and go for it. And it feels very freeing to me to think about this. And just the idea of being fearless it gives me a lot of energy because it is what I need. It's what I need in my life right now.
It's interesting you say that because I look at you and I think you said that as soon as you said the word, I'm like, you are fearless. You do all of these amazing races. You're preparing for this huge mountain climb adventure, things that I have not attempted. So I already think that you have been fearless.
You're going to attempt them this year, by the way.
Yeah, come on, you're going with me. I didn't tell you. Well,
but I love that.
I have attempted things that I feel comfortable doing or confident doing. I stick my toe out a little bit, but there is so much more. And I think I do some of those things to compensate for some of the ways fear stops me. I think that's me trying to break out of this, but I think it's a spiritual thing more than anything. I think I'm just going to have to trust God because there's really nothing I can do to make myself fearless. This is going to have to be a God-given, prayer-supported miracle.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have faith over fear.
Yeah.
Do you have a verse that goes with it?
No, not yet, because you just asked me yesterday.
Come
I have a
on,
song,
Tricia.
Jasmine Murray. But I do. I want to get some. I want to get like a life verse for this.
I love
this
the
year.
idea of, which I've never really done in the past, is pairing a word with a verse.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's a great idea.
Just think at the end of the year how much more that verse is going to mean to you than it does today.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're going to see it in every.
Write it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Put it. You see it every day.
I love that.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to put mine by my
Let's do it.
desk.
Okay. Let's
Well,
hold each other accountable.
Mine
for that.
is on my mug
Oh,
already.
you got a mug.
You
I need a mug.
You cheated. Okay.
What about you, Carol?
I'm not nearly as
Bring it.
excited about my word as you guys
Okay,
are.
so well, what is it?
I think it's going to be very hard. So, I was having my quiet time the other day, and a word that we don't see very much, I don't see it as much as I think it probably used to be used. It comes from Colossians 4, verse 2, and it said, "Devote yourself to prayer." Oh. And I was like, okay, devote yourself to prayer. Okay, what does that mean? So I looked up the word devote, and that means give all or a large part of one's times and resources to.
Mm.
And that scares me because, I'm a talker. Yes. I mean, and that, obviously part of conversation with God but does devote yourself to prayer. So devote is my
So how are you going to apply that?
I don't know yet. I was like,
there's so many ways that you could
Back up, Alicia.
But there's so many ways you could do. There's so many things you can.
Well,
I
think for me, for me as a believer, sometimes I get so self-sufficient.
Oh yes,
that
we think we are.
Yeah, or I think I am. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, it's a false sense of security. But I thought I can handle this. I don't need to really pray about it. I'm good. And I have sensed in my life that I need to pray more than I talk about things, because I don't. And all this to say, there's nothing wrong with processing through stuff with a friend, but I very often do that in place of prayer instead of in addition to,
Oh, yes. Oh, I heard a phrase once, have you prayed about it as much as you've complained about it?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, and Louis Giglio said something this past year that really impacted me. He said, when you continue to talk about your struggle, you're praising your problem.
Oh,
I know, that's so great.
Isn't that
Wow.
great?
So true. And you don't even think about it. You have to listen to that, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. But this, devote yourselves to prayer and give all or a large part of my time and resources to prayer, that scares me to death. Just because, prayer's all one of those things that's intensely personal, but it's also strength building, I mean, for me, I think if I truly do this in 2019, if I devote myself to prayer, I won't have to tell you that I've devoted myself to prayer. You'll just see it. And so that scares me too, because there's nothing like concrete, like, okay, you need to skip a stone across the river, turn a cartwheel, and write in your journal every day. It's like not like a daily Bible reading thing that you can check the box and mark it off, but just to devote myself to give a large part of my time and resources into praying and being. I've never felt good at prayer, honestly. I feel like my prayer life is so schizophrenic. I mean, like,
sure.
If
I think we all kind of must. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know about everybody, but I understand what you're saying
me
there.
too.
Because we're busy. We have a lot going on, and sometimes you just pray and sometimes I'll catch myself and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I should be really more thoughtful in that and giving it more time and really focusing on it instead of while I'm in the middle of, doing my laundry or whatever. But I think that God hears us wherever we are.
Sure.
And, it's, if you can, I think there's a lot of people that don't pray at all because they don't know how to pray.
Yeah.
So I always think the first thing is just start.
Yeah.
Just start talking to God. And then I think it evolves. So I'm excited to hear about how your year will go and what you're going to be doing maybe differently with your word.
Yeah, I'm not quite as excited as you are about it yet, but I do. I really think it's a hard, I really feel like this is stretching me spiritually.
You're stepping into a season of being stretched if you do that, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I think it could be life-changing for you.
Well, and maybe God already knows what's happening in your life next year.
Sure.
And maybe that's exactly what you need. He's going to need to be.
That scares me even more.
I'm sorry.
Like good things, like praise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something. You never know what it is.
I know, but here's the thing. My prayer life grows immensely when I'm in a struggle.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I'm a little bit nervous about what that means, but I know that God will teach me new things. Yes, ma'am.
But growth never comes without that.
I know.
So
That's what's so hard.
you're poised for a giant step up. It's amazing. Now, I mean, it probably will be hard, but
I think you even said that to me the other day.
yeah,
We were talking about
I
it.
have a sense of that about
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
where you are.
I just now thought of that.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Okay. So Tricia, the other day, she passed by me and we were talking about different stuff, and I was telling her about some opportunities I have outside of work and ministry here, and she was like, I just have I don't remember how you said it. I just have a sense.
Have a sense that something's up. Like you're going to be used in a very powerful way.
Oh,
that God's at work in your life right now, and you are poised to do something.
And then
big.
she said, and there's going to be attacks.
I think I said I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
But this will prepare you.
Yeah.
This will prepare you for whatever it is, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
If you do devote, the way you feel led, you'll be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited about
Ultimately,
that.
it
I
will
think
be
that's
for
a
your good.
great.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I talk about words, sometimes we choose a word as a family. Like one year we did simple. Whichever thing is, if you're struggling between two things, pick the thing that is simpler. That was life-changing for us one year.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get caught up and I'll pick 2 or 3 words. I like both of your words. Those are both good.
I like your words too.
But I think we need to. If you focus on one, it makes it a little easier. But I love that.
Yeah,
Carol, that was good.
All right. So we got a sorer, We got a fearless gal.
Power
Go,
stance.
Tricia.
Yeah. And we got a devoter. So,
Yes.
what is your word? We would love for you to email us.
Tell us.
And tell us your word. We're thrilled every time we get to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
You can email us directly now at girltalk@thelightfm.org. That's girltalk@thelightfm.org. And send us your word. Let us know what you're going to be focusing on in the new year. We love you and thank you for being here so much. And we'll see you next time here on the Girl Talk Podcast.